So if you go to the Solo Performance website and you start looking at what you've got here for the Challengers, now mine is 2008 to 2014, so we're going to click here. And then let's see, got these high flow converters, and you got a couple of different exhaust kits over here. So this one is the one they call the Street Race Catback, and if we click on that one, you can see that well, here, let's pull this picture up. So the tailpipes on all of the Solo Performance kits are the same. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you get, the tailpipes are going to be the same. They've got the J pipes, as it's called, over here, welded onto them, and that's where the magic happens. That's where the interior drone and resonance gets canceled out so that it's not so loud inside the car. You can get exhaust tips, square ones or rectangular ones. This is what I went with because it's more true to what the Challenger came with from the factory. But you can also get the round tips if you want. You can buy these kits without any tips at all if you want to use your own tips, and you save, around 60 bucks if you do that. But anyway, the tailpipes are all the same for all the kits. The difference is going to be up here. So the Race Catback has just an X pipe, as you can see. But if you get the Mach X3, which is what they call the one that I bought, let me go back here. Basically all it does is it replaces the X pipe with this center section that has a muffler welded into it. Now when I called these guys on the phone and asked them, they told me that the way this is designed on the inside is like an X pipe. So basically you still get an X pipe, it's just that in this case the X pipe is encased in this muffler, and the muffler has the packing in there, ceramic packing I believe, to kind of hold up to the heat a little better. But anyway, you've got an X pipe in there surrounded by this casing to make it a muffler style design, and obviously what this does is it quiets it down just a little bit. So those are your two main options for these Solo Performance kits on the Challengers. And if you look at third-party vendors like American Muscle or whatever the case might be, these are the two kits you're normally going to see. However, there are some other options. If I back out here and I go to, let's see, here it is, the 2015 to present cars. Let me see if we can open up. They have one called the Shorty. I think here it is. Yeah, okay. So this is for the 2015 and newer cars, but you can get them to build this kit for the 14 and older cars like mine also. And what it does is it's got a shorter muffler there. So the one that I got has a 14-inch muffler. I think this one's like an 11-inch muffler. So it basically is like a cross between the Race kit and the Mach X3 kit. It's going to be a little louder than the kit that I bought, but not quite as loud as the full-blown Race kit with just an X pipe. So this kind of falls in between the two, and if you call them on the phone, they can build this kit for the 08 to 14 Challengers. Also, I think that they have one that has like glass packs in there. Instead of the X3 muffler, you can get like glass packs, which is probably a completely different sound. So anyway, there are other options, and they can build you other things. I just wanted to make you aware of that, but you'll have to call them to get them to do that for you. Otherwise, if you're just shopping websites and third-party vendors, you're going to have those two main options that I just showed you a minute ago. All of them are amazing because these J pipes kill the drone. Alright, looking under the car, the first thing I did was install this skip shift eliminator. Can't believe it hadn't been done by a previous owner before, but it was really easy to do, plenty of access there. You got to do that if you have one of these stick shift cars. But as we head down and look at the Solo Performance kit, very, very nice kit. The clamps are awesome. The piping is 3-inch all the way back, very nice. Everything fits perfectly. You can see the Mach X3 muffler right there. It fit perfectly. If I turn around here, we'll take a better look at these tailpipes. The tailpipe sections wrap around the differential really nicely, head on out to the rear of the car. Everything matched up with the factory hangers. You can see where the J pipes go. All of this is adjustable, and then there are those really sweet tips. So a very, very nice kit. This car is a lot of fun. A whole lot of fun. But I'm going to be quiet here for just a minute so that you can listen. So you can hear, I think, or not hear, the drone inside the car because, well, there's really not any. Well, that's not entirely true. There's a little bit in certain situations, I guess, but hear that? We just pulled up a little bit of a hill right there, so the engine was straining a little. Got the cruise control set to just under 60 miles an hour. And it's really quiet in here. You can definitely still hear the engine. It just doesn't reverberate and drive you nuts inside the car like it did before. Pretty nice. So there is, like I said, there is a little bit of the drone left when you're pulling up a hill, but it's not nearly as bad as it was with just the straight pipe setup. With the muffler and resonator delete that was on this car when I got it, it would drive you nuts with the windows up like this. But now it's very, very bearable in here. You can have a conversation in here. I would say the most of the drone is gone. And what little drone that there is left is heavily reduced. So yeah, I just pulled into the Wendy's to get some lunch. But yeah, like I said, to be honest, there are certain specific circumstances that'll produce a little bit of drone in here. When I really noticed it most was on my one-lane little county road that I come out of. It's 35 miles an hour. Actually, it's posted a little less than that, but most people drive at about 35 miles an hour. But anyway, there's a lot of curves and hills, and so you're in third or fourth gear, and you know, the car's kind of, you know, lugging a little bit up some of those hills, and that's where I kind of notice a little bit of drone still in there. Out on the highway here, like I was just showing you in that previous clip, pulling up some of those hills, you can still hear the engine, but it is heavily reduced from where it was with just that, you know, muffler and Resto delete. So it's so much quieter and so much better in here now that it's perfectly fine. You know, like I said, if you had your wife with you or whatever, you could have a conversation. You don't have that headache after a long drive. It's just so much better now than it used to be. So the J pipes that they put in this exhaust do work. You know, it does what it says it'll do, and those are adjustable, meaning that you can loosen up the clamps and you can move those J pipes in and out a little bit, and kind of tune it, you know, so you can play around with it a little bit. You know, if you have just a little bit of drone left, you can play with those J pipes a little bit and get it where you want it. But I can't stress enough that it is so much more reasonable and quiet inside the car now. It's almost like stock inside the car, maybe a little bit louder than stock inside the car now. And but outside the car, it barks. You know, it's got a great tone to it. It's louder than stock. It sounds really good actually outside the car. So it really is kind of the perfect setup. You know, and the thing about this exhaust kit is, you know, I got this from American Muscle, and if you look on their website, this is the second least expensive exhaust kit that they sell for these cars on their website. There was like one brand that was a little less money. Can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically just comprised of some tailpipes and a couple of glass pack mufflers. So if you look at full-blown exhaust kits, this is one of the least expensive ones you can get for these cars, and it's just made so well. It's all stainless stuff, great clamps, great hardware, packaged really nice when I got it, and the technology that they put into it with the J pipes and the way the muffler's designed and everything, I mean, you just can't beat it. You really can't. Their customer service seems to be really good if you have trouble. So I'm really happy with this Solo Performance exhaust kit. I can tell that it changed the exhaust flow too, and the way that I can tell that is taking off in first gear, I've got to work the pedal a little differently now. So you can just kind of tell that the exhaust flow has been modified a little bit, because the car's computer's trying to adapt and adjust. You know, this is my first drive, so the computer's adapting to this new airflow. So you can tell it's making a difference in that regard already too. But yeah, I'm just really happy with this Solo Performance kit, and hopefully this video is kind of helpful to you guys who have been shopping these things. If you're going to pick up one of these used Challengers and you need an exhaust kit for it, Solo Performance is the way to go. All right, I'm gonna go in here and get some lunch. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.